YouTube, and happy Friday. Welcome to a Friday Reads video. This is Friday Reads for August the 9th of 2019. And yeah, I'm going to try and keep this video relatively short. If you could tell from the title, I do have a quick announcement to make at the very beginning of this video about the Create Your Own Readathon. But I do want to share with you, of course, the books I'm going to be reading this weekend, as well as a small book haul. I think it's only about 8 books. And just some other couple little minor things. And yeah, so let's get started. So first of all, I do want to say, I want to do a quick little Create Your Own Readathon announcement. And that is, usually I do a separate video announcing the Create Your Own Readathon, but this month I decided to just put it into my Friday Reads because there is a tag that I want to do, and you guys know I do my videos on certain days, and I like having that schedule. It's good for me. You know, it makes sure I get enough video, you know, it makes sure I get content out for you guys, as well as, you know, I just love sitting down and doing these videos. But anyway, like I said, there's a tag that I want to do. I was tagged by the lovely Bree, and I will leave a link to her blog in the description box below. And she tagged me in a romance reader book tag, and I'm really super excited about doing it. So I definitely want to do that and have that video out. I might just start doing the Create Your Own Readathon announcements on a Friday Reads just because it's easier. But anyway, so I'm announcing the fact that the Create Your Own Readathon for the month of August is going to run on August 17th and 18th. So that is not this weekend, but next weekend. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So as you guys know, if you've been following along with the Create Your Own Readathon, of course I will leave that linked in the description box below as well. It is essentially what it is, what it sounds like. Create Your Own Readathon. Whatever you want to do over the course of the weekend, if you want to try and read for 24 hours, if you want to try and finish reading Outlander, if you want to, you know, start 2 new books, whatever it is, choice is yours. So as I've been doing every month this year, is that there's been a theme to kind of get you guys to, you know, help you maybe pick books if you're not sure, or maybe just give a little bit of a challenge for this. And I always think of August as the dog days of summer. And the dog days of summer comes from the fact that from the tail end of July until like mid-August, like that period, is it Cyrus? Is the dog star is what's seen in the sky. And that's why they've always referred to this at this time as the dog days of summer. And I didn't know that until I looked it up not that long ago as to why it was called that. But I still think August as being the lazy part of summer. People are kind of getting ready to go back to school. A lot of people are already going back to school. I know that. Here in Canada, or at least in Ontario, like for example, my niece will not be going back to school until after Labor Day. So yeah, so she's still got this whole month off. So that's what I'm used to, is the month of August is like the tail end of summer, the wrap up of summer. At the tail end of the month is going to be the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition. I would really like to go this year. I don't know if we'll be able to because of the days that Garrett has off, but I could always, you know, maybe try and take a day off when he's off at the end of August, and we can go down to the CNE, and of course I would try and vlog that. But speaking of vlogs, I will be vlogging, of course, over the Create Your Own Readathon weekend, and I have a fun one this time because I saw on Twitter earlier this week that the Toronto Public Library announced that they are doing their big book sale. I think they do this once or twice a year at the Reference Library downtown, and it's going to run on the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I can't go on the Thursday and Friday because I have to work, and it closes at 6:30, and I don't finish work till 5. And it would just be not enough time for me to get down there, get parking, you know, get in there. I'd probably have 5 minutes to look. So I'm going to go on the Saturday morning. They open the doors at 9:30, so I'm going to go on Saturday morning, and I will do my best to vlog it. At least some of it so you guys can see. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, so that'll be coming along with, of course, my reading for that weekend. So that being said, I do hope that you're going to participate in the Create Your Own Readathon for July. I am super looking forward to it. Let's get into what I'm going to be reading over the course of this weekend. So my audiobook, and neither this book and the next book I haven't actually started yet, but the audiobook I'll be listening to is Temptation Ridge by Robin Carr. This is, I believe, the 6th book in the Virgin River series. So yeah, so these are getting a little bit better. You guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I was not super impressed with the first group of books, but they are slowly getting a bit better, and I'm enjoying them. So yeah, so I am looking forward to this one. I have a lot of longer audiobooks this month on my TBR. Like this one I think comes in at almost 14 hours. And I think the next one, because I'm reading both this one and the next book in the series this month, and the next one is also about the same time. I'll be listening to Emma by Jane Austen, which I think comes in at over 15 hours. So yeah, so I've got some longer audiobooks this month to get through, but that's quite all right. So I'm looking forward to this one. The next one that I actually have is a print book. I will be reading A Duke in the Night by Kelly Bowen. This is the first book in the Dukes of Dover series. And this is the group read for the summer romance book bingo, so that's exciting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. A historical. I've been getting into a lot more historicals over the last few months, and I really, really love them. So, and this guy is pretty easy on the eyes. I'm pretty sure Dukes back then didn't actually look that way, but we'll take it. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? Highly enjoyable. So the next one, the next book I'm going to talk about is my Babysitters Club book. I started this one just the other day, actually. And this is Claudia and the Middle School Mystery. It's book number 40 in the Babysitters Club series. And in this one, Claudia has been accused of cheating on a math test because she did very, very well in it. But she did study for it. So we all know that Claudia didn't cheat, but her teacher seems to think that she did. And this rather rude-looking girl beside her, I think she's the one who actually cheated off of Claudia. Spoiler alert. But yeah, she clearly looks guilty. I mean, honestly. But yeah, so this one's been enjoyable so far. I should get this one done probably late next week. And then the last book I want to talk about real quick is this one that I just started, and I'm in love with it already. And this is Runaway Vegas Bride by Teresa Hill. Oh my gosh, you guys, this one is so much fun. Oh gosh, I just thought about it. Garrett, could you do me a favor? Sorry, Garrett just got up. Could you look in the bag and pull out the one that says 2011 for me, please? Please? Oh, he said no. He said no, you guys. Isn't he rude? Now he's gonna complain. I don't. Thank you, dear. You got it for me. Yes, dear, I know. Thank you.
And you should read some.
I do. I read a lot of books, Garrett. You know that. I am slowly working through them. Thank you. Sorry about the whole conversation we've just been having. How rude of me. So anyway, Runaway Vegas Bride by Teresa Hill. Guys, this book, I am only 35 pages through this, and I am in love with this story. The beginning author's note on this one, she talked about where she got the idea from, and it's delightful. So she got the idea for part of this story, not the whole thing, but part of it, is from an article that she read in the paper about this couple in a nursing home who had known each other, I guess, when they were kids or when they were younger, and ended up marrying other people and going on with their lives, and they haven't seen each other in like 60 years. And they met back up again in a nursing home, and both of them, I guess, were widowed. And they ended up getting married at the age of 80. Is that not the sweetest feel-good story ever? So she read that, and she wanted somehow to incorporate it into this book, or into a book. So this story starts off with, it is, our main character's name is, her name is Jane, and it's her grandmother and great aunt who are in this nursing, I don't want to say nursing home because it's not, it's like a senior's home, but for very active seniors, like they're swimming and golfing and all these other, I hear about this place and I'm reading about it going, can I move in there please? Because it sounds wonderful. But her grandmother and her great aunt, and then Wyatt, who is our male lead, his grandfather lives in this facility. And his grandfather is quite the ladies' man. And he has been kicked out of 4 different nursing homes, or seniors facilities, excuse me, for making the women fight against each other over his affections. So now he's at this one, and at the beginning of the book, Wyatt's being called in to tell him that he needs to rein his grandfather in because they will not have those shenanigans going on at this facility. Oh my god, like I said, I'm 35 pages into it and already I'm in love with it. I'm like, I just want to read about the elderly people because they're delightful. So yeah, so far this is fantastic. I have no idea if this is available on ebook or not. It's from 2010, so it's a very good chance it might be. If you can get your hands on it, so far I am loving it. I hope it will continue. I think it will. But just this premise is so super fantastic. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. So yeah, so I'll be getting a lot of that read this weekend too. So since Garrett was super nice after, you know, twisting his arm, we've got our next book for the 40 Years of Harlequin Project. This is a book that I will start next week on Tuesday, 2011. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what we have. We have a, I think it's a, yes it is, no, it's a Harlequin, oh, a Harlequin American romance. Haven't read one of these in a long time. The Bachelor Ranger. This is part of the Creature Comfort series. Look at that puppy on the cover. Isn't that nice? So what's this one say? It's deja vu all over again. When a teen volunteer project brings Alex Harcourt back to Yosemite. Oh, this takes place in Yosemite. Cal Hollis is still the same hunky park ranger she kissed 14 months ago. The man who always made her feel safe and protected. Now with his fierce dedication to his job and his bear dog at his side, he's even more irresistible. But Alex can't fall in love with him again, especially once she learns his magic secret. Tragic secret. Oh my gosh, I really need my glasses. A magic secret would be different. That's what Harry Potter has. He has a tragic secret. The kiss should never have happened, not with this woman and not on his watch. But Cal was already half in love with Alex, and second chances don't come around that often. They'll have to work together to catch the ruthless poachers out to destroy Yosemite's wildlife, and Cal's mind is made up. He'll move beyond the past and hopefully catch Alex in the process. Oh, that sounds delightful. Poachers and a hunky ranger and nature and dogs. Oh, sounds great. I'm looking forward to this one. This one should be really fun too. So anyway, the last thing I really have to share with you guys book-wise is my book haul from this week. Like I said, I bought about 8 books. So the first few books I was looking the other day on Amazon, and I saw this one. No, I was looking at my ebook wish list, and I saw that this book had dropped in price. So I decided to pick it up because the cover just looks so adorable, and it's called Sunshine Over Bluebell Castle. And I think this was on for 99 cents. I don't know if it still is. You might want to go ahead and check it out yourself. And it is by Sarah Bennett. And this is the second book in the Bluebell Castle series. It's a trilogy. So I will definitely have to go pick up the first 2 books, or the first book and the third book. But this one sounds really cute. It's a castle. I believe it takes place in the UK. It looked delightful. So of course when I bought this one, you get the whole thing below that says, if you like that book, you might like this book. And I decided to pick this one up too. And it's called Shameless Sweethearts. And it is by Roxanne Snopek. I've read her before. I read her last year, a couple books by her last year, because she authored a couple of the books in the Love at the Chocolate Shop series. It was a series of novellas, and one took place every month in an entire, and it took place over the course of a whole year. And they were really, really good. Now I can't speak for this book because I haven't read it yet, but she tends to write sweet romances. So yeah, this one I think I'm really going to like. I know it's part of a series, but I'm sorry, I can't remember what the name of the series is. And then speaking of that, again, if you like this book, you'll like this book. So that book was on sale for like 99 cents. And then I think this one was too, and it's also by Roxanne Snopek. And it's called Blackberry Cove. Look at that cover. That is, you know, people talk about buzzwords for books if they hear about, you know, if a book takes place in a boarding school, or a book, you know, is a friends to lovers romance. For me, I am so much an image person for the cover that I have image keywords. One is a location, you know, I mean, yes, there are people there, but this is more about this beautiful outdoor location. There is also a dog, and there are 2 really cute people. There are This is like my cover. This is Sarah's catnip. This is what will get her to purchase your book. If the cover looks super adorable like this, and I'm like 99 cents, I know the author, I know I like her work, so yes, I decided to pick this one up. And then the rest of these books are all on the Kindle monthly deal list for the month of August. So, you know, if you're interested, go ahead and pick them up. This one, the first book I want to mention, this was on my March anticipated reads list that I did back in February. And it's A Lethal Legacy by Heather Graham. This is the 4th book, I believe, in the New York Confidential series. So unlike The Crew of Hunters, which is more paranormal, this is more police procedural. So yeah, these ones are really good. I'm really enjoying the series. I think I've read the first 2, so I'm glad to have picked this one up, and I think it was less than $2. The next one, I think, oh yeah, so the next one, I couldn't believe this one was on the monthly deals. I've been seeing this book all over Bookstagram, and I've been like, what is that about? And then I realized it was by Penny Reed, and it's a relatively new release, and it's called Kissing Tolstoy, and it's part of the Dear Professor series, and it's book number 1, and it sounds adorable, and I am now a fan of Penny Reed. I have read one of her books. I have another one of her books on my TBR for the month of August, so I'm very much looking forward to getting to this one. I've heard a lot of great things about this one, and again, it was under $2. It might have even been just $1. So if you're interested in grabbing this one, do it now while it's on sale. And then the last three were Harlequin books. The first one is a love-inspired suspense, and that is Detection Mission by Margaret Daly. This is part of the Texas Canine Unit series. I do love these Canine Unit series books. They are a lot of fun. So these ones I find you do have to read in order, but if I can pick them up on the cheap and then when I eventually do get around to reading them, I've got them. That's my whole goal with this. And then the last two books are both Harlequin intrigue novels. The first one is Mountain Witness by Lena Diaz. So yeah, it's something, I think it doesn't say it on the cover, but when I looked on Goodreads, it was something about the Tennessee SWAT series or something like that. I don't know, look good. Again, I'm pretty sure it was under $2. And, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. And the last one is The Deputy's Witness by Tyler and Schnell. And again, this is part of a series that I cannot remember the name of at this time. I do apologize, you guys. But yeah, he looks like a country music star, doesn't he? With that hat. Anytime I see a cowboy hat, I think country music star because I love me some country music. But yeah, so this one looks like it'll be great too. And again, under $2. So really that is about all that I have to share with you guys. I'm not going to share my knitting with you this week because I did not make a ton of progress on my sweater. I was busy knitting those hats for my sister-in-law. So I think I talked about it last week or in my vlog that I had to go and buy the yarn. I think I updated you guys too on that one, that the hats ended up being an epic fail and I'm not doing them. So oops. So I was working on those so much that I didn't get around to really knitting on my sweater. The other thing is my sock. Guys, I had to rip the entire sock out because I was knitting away on it this week and I went, wait a minute, you never put the heel in. It was like this long and I was like halfway up the leg and I never put the heel in. And I don't know how to, nor do I trust myself to go back. I think you're supposed to put waste yarn in because you can do what's called an afterthought heel where you put waste yarn in and then you tear that out, you pick up the stitches and then you put the heel in. A lot of people do that when they do self-striping yarn so they don't lose the striping sequence. Obviously, if you saw my last pair of socks that, stripe, I don't much care about that. So I started to rip it back and then I realized I ripped back too far. And then my stitch count was way off and I'm like, just fudge it. And I ripped the whole thing out and I'm starting again. So there's no point in me showing you my knitting at all because there's really nothing to show you guys. Last but not least, before I let you guys go, a little bit of a life update thing. Not too terribly interesting this week. Of course, a shorter week because we had the holiday on Monday. So big yay on that one. A 4-day work week is always enjoyable. But of course, now you're trying to cram 5 days worth of work into 4. But I did end up having to leave work a bit early on Wednesday to go to, guess where? The doctor's office. I've been living at the doctor's office lately. But when I was in to see my cardiologist on the week before, I don't think I mentioned this because I saw him very briefly after I had that test done. That the cardiac CT scan. Sorry about the breeze. Like, I'm not standing in a wind tunnel, I assure you. We've got the fans on because it's really hot out. But anyway, he was listening to my chest and he said, "You're wheezing." And I said, "Oh." And he goes, "Are you sick?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Have you been having breathing issues?" And, I kind of started thinking about it because it comes and goes. And sometimes I get this where I kind of feel like I have a hard time taking a deep breath. And I mentioned that to him and I said, well, I'm pretty sure it's stress related because it seems to crop up then. And that's when I seem to really notice it. It doesn't happen all the time and it doesn't last very long, which is why it's never something that I've been rushing off to the doctor to see. And he said he thinks I might have asthma. And I'm like, well, that's lovely. And I guess maybe because it was on my mind, on Wednesday during the day, I was kind of having like a not so great attack. So I called my doctor's office and I thought I'm going to get in to see her, like just my family physician, right? They said, oh, we can't get you in for like 2 weeks because she's often double booked in to see her. And they said, but tonight, like on Wednesday night, she was doing a walk-in clinic. So there's 4 other doctors in her office and they rotate the 4 days of the week. Like they don't do it on Fridays or on the weekends, but they do a walk-in after hours clinic where anybody can come in. And it's from like 5 till 8 o'clock, but it's like a first come, first serve kind of an idea. And the reason I wanted to go there as opposed to a regular walk-in clinic is because she is my doctor and she has my file and she knows me. You know what I mean? So I thought, okay, so I left work a bit early. I ended up having to wait like an hour and a half to see the doctor. Totally worth it. she listened to my chest right away, and I gave her the letter from my, and she already had the letter from my cardiologist because, you know, he's in email contact with her to keep her updated. And she says, yeah, I saw that that's what he thought. She goes, I will confirm it. So no other tests, just, yes, you're clearly wheezing. You clearly have something going on. So she gave me a very low dose puffer that I am now taking. That seems to be making a difference. I think it's going to take a few days to really take effect, because it wasn't anything instantaneous. Today was not as bad as it's been over the last, and I didn't realize till today how bad it was getting, and that's frightening in the long run, you know, like, you become complacent to things when you just kind of let them go. So you, like, public service announcement, kids, go to the doctor if you're not feeling well, because I could have had this dealt with a long time ago. But anyway, very low dose puffer, so I'm on that twice a day, and yeah, so hopefully it'll help. And she wants to see me again in like 3 weeks or a month, depending, like, if it gets worse or it doesn't start getting better, come in to see her sooner. But if it starts to kind of help clear itself out, then I am to go back and see her in like a month, and we're going to reassess and see where we're going to go from there. So yay, something else to add to my list of stuff. She thinks it even might be seasonal, because it didn't seem that bad in the wintertime, but in the summer it seems like with the heat and the humidity, it's, you know, and irritants and, like, you know, allergies and things like that. So who knows? Anyway, so that's my stuff for this week. And yeah, that's pretty much about it, you guys. I will let you go. Again, I do hope that you'll participate in the Create Your Own Readathon next weekend. And for those of you who might be new and you haven't yet, please do subscribe. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, or give me a thumbs up, I should say, because that would be super awesome. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.